You're listening to the Comic Crusaders Podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. Wepa! What up, mi gente? It's your boy, Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders Podcast. And today, folks, we're in for it. I mean, these guys were trending on Twitter. Oh, my God. With the amazing project that is Frankenstein the Unconquered. Yes, we have this creative duo, this creative writing team. They're monsters in this. Let me tell you, reading this book, it was like poetry. Let me introduce the dynamic duo that is the one, the only, Mr. Wells, Thompson, and Dalton, Shannon, wepa, gentlemen.
Oh, right.
I have never gotten a more energetic introduction in my life. Thank you, Al.
I feel like a pro wrestler right now. Like I'm gonna have to hit you with a chair, Wells.
It wouldn't be the first time. Oh no!
Oh, did we lose Al?
I think Al froze.
Okay,
it's our
guys.
podcast now, guys.
All right, we're taking over the podcast. So, Wells, how has your day been today?
Oh, I've been great. I've been fantastic.
That's great.
This is basically my Sunday, so I'm just
that's
enjoying
fantastic.
life right now. Woke up to a beautiful site. Frankenstein's 50% funded.
50% already. That's wild.
Yeah.
I think this is fastest we've hit so far, right?
Oh, for sure. 100% for sure.
No doubt.
The excitement around this book is so infectious and energetic.
So infectious it crashes podcast streams.
Apparently so.
Frankenstein conquers all, guys. So if you want to see us get funded in 72 hours, you go hit the doobly-doo and
link in the doobly-doo.
Yeah, and we'll get you some bookmarks. We have some really cool bookmarks, guys. Trust me.
Yep. We haven't made them yet, but they are going to be great.
Oh, they're great. From what we've talked about, they'll be
what is in our imagination right now. They are going to be fantastic.
Pure leather, almost human skin texture, just like Frank would have wanted. You know, I'm sure Frank marks his books with jerky. That sounds good. Yeah.
Oh,
I miss Al. I'm kind of worried about him.
He'll come back. I believe. I believe, and I know you guys believe.
I have.
We
faith.
just all have to believe together hard enough, and eventually he'll come back.
Are we able to see if anybody's actually watching right now? If anybody's watching, please.
All I can see are comments. I can't see numbers.
Let me look at the. Nobody's showed up at the comments just yet. Okay, so I guess we're just spitballing right now. Okay,
that's fine. That's fine,
man. I'm here for it.
He's back.
He's back.
Isn't it fun when technology wants to shit on you?
Oh yeah, it always breaks.
On.
It always breaks as soon as you need it to be solid.
Yeah. It literally, I give you this intro, and internet says it was too much energy for the internet, and it had to crash.
System.
Well, Al, welcome to Comic Crusaders, where we talk about comics and comic creators. We're glad to have you.
From all walks of life. It's great to have you, Al. This is our podcast.
Hey, shit. These guys took over as soon as I was gone. My gosh.
We conquered.
Anyway, folks.
Cheers.
Yeah, you talk about, right? It was Dalton and Wells the Unconquered here. Holy shit. So, guys, thank you for hanging out with me today, and apologies for that technical flub, and folks as well. Apologies. That's all I was trying to do was switch the screens around, and it was just too much for the internet to handle. All right, so let's get into this real quick, because you know how we love our origin stories here, Comic Crusaders. So I'll start with Mr. Wells Thompson. I hope you're doing well, sir. Let us know. He goes, not again now. Shut up.
Not the first time I've heard that.
So tell us your origin story, where you grew up at, where you at now, and what was your first taste of fandom?
Well, I saw my parents gunned down in an alley when I was 8 years old. Wait, no, that's Batman. I was born and raised in a place called Little Rock, Arkansas, capital city, which it's a small city in the middle of nowhere, essentially. But that if you tell people, oh, I'm from Little Rock, and they give you a confused look, and you go, Bill Clinton. And they go, oh, yeah, I know where he's from.
Yeah, you say I thought Bill Clinton, and then I thought what happened with Bill Clinton immediately. So I said, oh, it's the state where you could get head at. Okay, gotcha.
Little Rock's good for that.
No, it's good for a lot of other things too. But
Hey,
no, but
your rock is not little anyway.
I grew up in a sort of small city, Little Rock, where there was not a lot to do besides, read comics, watch cartoons, read books, watch movies, and generally, get up to shenanigans. I was never very good at the shenanigans, but I was really good.
That sounds like a good time to me, bro. That sounds like a good time to me, but hey, that's me.
Yeah, no. I made a good time of it, but yeah, no. So grew up in the South, kind of in a quiet area, and just kind of made I think my first taste of fandom. That's a really big question. Probably it was like, I'm trying to think, like the first big thing. It was probably like Batman Beyond, I think, was the first time that I was like really into a show that was like, I need to know everything about this. I need to, and then that led to going, catching the animated series reruns and Static Shock and that kind of like crop of 2000s or like 90s and 2000s animated superhero shows, and that was really where like I got my first taste of it. Yeah, no, it was great stuff. And then comics came themselves actually came a little bit later. My first exposure, oddly enough, was Watchmen in high school. Someone turned me
You're the second person. You are the second person that says this is my first book. I'm like, this is too much to be your first.
It
book.
really is. Yeah. No, it's like it's like being a film buff, and the first thing you watch is like The Holy Mountain or something like that. Something that's just so like dense you couldn't appreciate it. But the book is so entertaining, it kind of transcends that. And even if you don't know a lot about like superhero, like Silver Age superhero comics, which is what it's sort of immortalizing and making fun of at the same time, it's still such a good book. It's hard not to love it. And then that developed into a love of indie comics with like Scott Pilgrim and Brian Lee O'Malley stuff.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, eventually we can talk a little bit more about that later on. But yeah, no, I basically that was how it all started for me.
Wonderful. But are you, Mr. Dalton K. Shannon? What's the K for?
Keith, my middle name.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You can tell I'm a Southern boy. So I actually gunned down Wells's parents in an alley.
Oh no,
that was you. Okay.
that was me. So I grew up in a suburb of Little Rock, Arkansas, Cabot, which had about as many things to do as Wells said. I just played video games and read comics all my life. Yeah, ever since I was like.
So you telling me you came out the womb with a comic book?
Essentially,
more or less, yeah.
More or less, yeah. No, so like,
stop crying. Read this.
Yeah, I discovered like Batman the Animated Series and Spider-Man and X-Men on television when I was like probably 5. And then when I was 8, I discovered a Spider-Man comic book with like a very striking John Romita Jr. cover. And I was like, oh, there's more Spider-Man. I don't have to just watch it on TV. And then I was hooked ever since from right there. But my first taste of fandom was probably when my parents actually took me to my first comic shop. It was like maybe a year after I got really into comics. And I had just been buying them off of the spinner rack at my local grocer. And which I'm convinced was the last time anyone ever actually did that, because they were pretty much dead by 2000 anyway.
My brother, you are one of these people that keep telling me you used to go to the grocery store and buy comics. I am from New York. Never once did I buy a comic book from a grocery store because they never had a spinner rack. So I am so perplexed by that. I'm like, huh?
That's wild, because like you wouldn't think in the middle of Bum Hell, Arkansas, that you'd be able to find a spinner rack with a Spider-Man comic on it. But that's...
I think we're just like 10 to 15 years behind everybody else in general.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh wait, you guys are still on AOL. Okay, that's what happened before, folks.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. But so I was just buying them off a spinner rack, and then my parents took me to a comic shop in North Little Rock, which is great. It's not there anymore, sadly, but it was like a retrofitted McDonald's. So like it still had the drive-through window there, and it was like nothing about McDonald's was still there, but it was the shell of a McDonald's turned into a comic shop. And I was like,
my dude, they had the idea of a drive-through pickup on Wednesdays, and they didn't think about it, right?
Rookie mistake. But so I entered into a comic shop. I was like, they make these? And like, I'm not the only person who reads these. And it was like my first experience of like, oh, there's a bigger world than the spinner rack in my bedroom and Spider-Man. Like there's way more here. And I don't think I've missed a Wednesday since.
Oh, wow. Wednesday warrior to the core. He's getting ready for tomorrow. That's why he's drinking so much liquid, folks. He's got to be the first one in line. All right.
I don't even know what's coming out tomorrow.
Man, if you want to know, just go look up what's on the shelf on Comic Crusaders, and you'll know what's coming out. Where you got to make it rain at your LCS. All right. So
it's more of that Judgment Day stuff. That's what it is. Avengers. Okay.
Yeah. Well.
That stuff's okay.
Yeah, we have greater stuff coming up in the world of indie, though. You know, we're gonna get into that in a little bit. But okay, Mr. Wells. Now going back to you, talk to me. Were you a lone wolf, or did you have a tribe with it for your geekdom and as you were growing up?
Oh, I was extremely lone wolf growing up. I did not have a lot of what do you call it, friends?
What are friends? What is that? It's a TV show,
really, until like I had very few people that I hung out with or did stuff with. It was mostly just a solo effort until like my senior year of high school, before I had like a really cohesive like group of friends. It's weird that I turned out kind of as for lack of a better word, normal as I did, because like a lot like this sounds like the profile of a serial killer. Like he was very quiet and to himself, and he didn't have a lot of friends, and he wrote weird stories about murder and stuff, which I did as a kid. I wrote a lot of short stories that usually involve someone dying, and no one called the cops on me, so that worked out. But no, it was definitely a solo effort. The tribe came in later in college. I started to discover, there's people who like some of the stuff that I do. And
somebody likes Watchmen more other than me. All right, I got you.
and for then, especially in college, it was film that I was really, really into. So yeah, I found a group of people that I could just nerd out about films, and we would go every couple weeks we would go out and see a couple. We would usually see like 2 or 3 movies at a time. Just spend like all Saturday at a movie theater. Yeah, Jeez. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, no, that the tribe came in later for sure, and now I have a lot of people that I talk to about this. I mean, most of them online, but those relationships are very real, and a lot of them wind up working on the books that we're working on. So it's very kind of everyone helping everyone out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the world of indie, folks. It's a beautiful thing.
I love indie comics so much. It's such a fun community, and it's so it's a very we're all in this together kind of community. Mm-hmm. And coming from film and literature where it's all very cutthroat and very like I got mine and competitive and gatekeepy. Not to say that doesn't exist in comics, but like the indie comics community seems to be a lot more tight knit.
Indie is much more open to just cross-platform, using a gaming term, as opposed to what Big Two fans are into. Like, no, it has to be this way and that.
Yeah,
get over it. Unless you own the property, shut the F up, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
So about you, Mr. Shannon, talk. Let me know what's popping.
Once I got to like a middle school and could even comprehend what a friend was, it was off the races. Well, yeah, because I mean, growing up, I said I grew up in a suburb of Little Rock, but what I really mean is I grew up in a little village of a suburb of Little Rock. So like I was even more isolated than people I went to school with. Like I had to drive 20 minutes just to get to school every day. So most of the time it was coming home after school, and then I was just kind of either hanging out with my little brother or I was in my own little world. But then middle school hit, and I found somebody just as weird as I was, whose mother forced us to hang out because she wanted her son to have a friend.
Logan's great, by the way.
And
Logan, if you're watching this, Excellent job.
Oh yeah. So then that's how I met my best friend, was through his mother, and
through forced friendship. Look at this.
Yeah,
Abusive parents.
Yeah, and couldn't ask for a better friend. But ever since then, I've had a consistent friend group where we get to kind of share and nerd out about things, mostly like video games and anime and stuff. I never really had a community for comic books until I probably got out of college, honestly. Nobody I knew was into comic books at all. They were more into the video games or film or whatever, which is cool. I like that stuff too. But I could never talk to anybody about what was happening in the latest issue of Green Lantern, really, because I was just like, oh, that's just me. And then after college, I actually started working at a comic shop, and we had a bunch of regulars who would come and just kind of sit and talk shop. And I actually made a lot of really good friends while working there. And so now I have a nice fostered community of comics and online as well. Not to the extent Wells has. I think the way we came up informs how we make friends online, because I felt fulfilled as a child, and and Wells is looking for validation online. So, it all works out.
You know what? Is that going to be the next Kickstarter? How to make friends online? And
honestly, I could use that advice. I have no idea how to make friends online.
I'm digging this. All right, so now let me go back to Wells. That's funny shit, bro. So going back to Wells, so let's talk about then. Here you are, you're a kid in your town, community is not that much, but you have some stuff going on. When did you start taking the creative stuff seriously? When was the spark that hit you that said, I actually not just want to be a fan, but I want to create?
I think I first decided that I'm sort of a headstrong, goal-oriented person, so I get something in my head and I don't stop. I think that I started at like in 6th grade. Over the summer break, they made me read The Secret Garden, and I threw it across the room because I hated it so much. And I said,
you hated secrets.
I hated it, and I said, I can do better than this.
Have you ever gone back to that book, Wells?
No, I'm sure it's fine. No. Like, honestly, I'm sure that if I went back and read it, it would be fine. But it would be.
I love this thing. Why didn't I read it as a kid?
And there's lots of stuff that I've gone back to that, like in school, when you're forced to read something, you don't appreciate it, and then you realize only afterward, like, oh, once you mature a little bit, you're like, oh, this is actually really good. But no, I think I started writing then as like an act of sort of defiance in like I said, 6th grade. And then I want to say it was like 10th grade, I had a literature teacher that really inspired me, and I started taking it seriously. And from then on, I think from then on, I've been saying, like, I want to be a writer. I'm going to be a writer. And like, that's what I'm going to do with my life. And so it's just kind of been a straight line. Like, I've been, in a sense, very fortunate to know what I've wanted to do from a pretty young age, and kind of stubbornly pursued it and had the ability to pursue it ever since. Comics came slightly later. Actually, Dalton was the one who convinced me to start writing comics, because before then it was literature and it was screenplays. But I never even considered, like, okay, what if I did a comic book? Like, it never crossed my mind for a second until I met Dalton, and he was basically like, hey, I have a cool idea. What if we worked on this? And we still, and to be fair, that idea we still have not published. We still haven't made anything. But it will happen. Like, it will happen. It's too good of an idea not to do. But
we're getting close to the bromance stories, guys. Getting close to it. But we need to know Dalton's, edge now as to when Dalton got, that creative spark going.
It was when I killed his parents in the alley.
That reminds me of Batman. I'm gonna make a book.
No, I was 8. 8 years. The year 2000 was a very important year. I was 8, and that's when I discovered comic books and fell in love with comic books. But it was also the year I discovered the novel series Captain Underpants by Dave Pilkey. And the book centers on 2 8-year-old boys who make their own comic books about a superhero. And I was like, hell, if they could do it, I can do that. That's easy. And so I just started drawing my own books and stapling them together. And I've been doing that ever since. Like, there's no plan B. Comics is all I've ever wanted to do. since that moment, and
Wow.
I've mostly stuck to the writing chores because I have very little discipline and can't force myself to get better at drawing. But writing's cake. So
Hey,
I've
we
been able
have
to,
AI art now, so you might be able to be very descriptive and have it
yeah,
drawn.
but I don't think I'm that immoral. Like, I have some standards. You wouldn't know it looking at my business partners, but
Hey, bro. Well,
No.
what have you been up to?
no,
You know
I
what,
kid.
yeah.
But no, comics are my life, and it's all I've ever wanted to do.
Awesome.
And I can't express just how grateful I am to actually get to do them. Not for a living just yet, but honestly, if I never did and I still just got to make comics, that would be enough. So I'm in a good place.
You guys are writing like the next hot movie franchise right now, so you better stop that stuff. I'm manifesting for you. This is going to be like one of the hottest, and I love the term you use, action horror. Because we get comedy horror, comedy horror, comedy horror. Ain't not one motherfucker used the words action horror before.
Yeah,
I have not seen it before you guys, to be honest. So I was like, yeah.
It's not like I don't ever view Frankenstein as like a pure horror comic, because it's like, I don't think the intent is to really scare you, but it has those horror elements, and it's more of the sort of encroaching grip your heart moment of like exactly how far he will go and how violent he will get, and how much he's like willing to screw people over to get what he wants.
Yeah, it's much more Conan than Halloween.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you already gave me a sample. I mean, when I read what I read, and God forbid you ever aim a gun on this motherfucker. Apparently,
No.
yo, you don't want to do that. Not even aim, bro. Trust me, you don't even want to aim that shit. But before we get into this wonderful book that is Frankenstein, what's the story of the bromance? How you guys met? I'll let either one of you start right here.
It was the alley. No.
All right, so you saw his parents, and he said thank you and gave you a hug.
Yeah,
and he said,
basically.
"Let's make comic books."
I mean, here we are.
We met in college. Initially, we met through his wife, who was just his girlfriend at the time. Me and her had started hanging out, and we would get breakfast together every now and then because we had similar schedules. And she introduced me to him, and she was like, "This is my boyfriend. He makes comics." And I was like, "Gross." And then, but like, we sort of like we had a mutual like, "Yeah, you're a cool guy." Like, but we didn't really hang out or anything. And then we started having classes together because we were both in creative writing classes, in screenwriting classes, and fiction classes, and it became like really apparent that we were both really good at this. I don't say that to be arrogant, just like there were clear indications that we were doing really well, and not a cut above like everyone else in the class, but like in sort of a different league than most people there. And I remember Dalton's heard me tell this story too many times, but
I love hearing it. My ego loves it.
So I can see his head swelling.
There was a prompt where it was just like, okay, we're going to start with a list of prompts, pick one, and write for 40 minutes, and then we'll briefly share kind of what we wrote, just as an exercise to see what we could get on the page. And I don't even remember what I wrote. Dalton.
I don't remember what you wrote either.
But thanks. Dalton picked a prompt that was something to the effect of like, two people go on a blind date, and one of them has lied on their internet dating profile. And it becomes like very clear that the narrator, who's on the date with this girl that he doesn't know, he's sort of fudged some details about his own life story. But then like as it goes on, you also see signs and learn that the date is actually a velociraptor in a blonde wig. And shit. That was the funniest thing I've ever read. Like it is hysterical, and I remember laughing so hard I thought like, I have to keep this guy around. He's too funny not to like do something with. And that instinct turned out to be right. I think we make each other's like we make each other better as writers, as storytellers. So Yeah, no. If not for Mr. Dr. Vanderslice's class, who knows?
What a name, Vanderslice.
Vanderslice.
Mr. Dr. Vanderslice.
Because there was a Mrs. Dr. Vanderslice as well. It's very important to distinguish.
So wait, we have to make that clear though. We have to say Mr. Doctor, Mrs. Doctor.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're both
doctors.
doctors because they're both Dr. Vanderslice, but you needed to differentiate Mr. Doctor.
Oh, okay,
Mrs. Doctor,
gotcha.
Mhm.
Dr. VS. Like, don't mistake it for Victoria's Secret though. Wepa. All right, so we're gonna start getting into this in a moment. But Dalton, do you agree to everything he said on the story of the bromance? Did he miss any details?
Dalton, when did you decide to start putting up with me?
Besides the killing of the parents, was there any details he missed?
No. Working with Wells was like, to me, kind of an inevitability. Like, we got along great, and he had great writing chops. He wrote very like dense, layered stories in college. I remember, and dude didn't give a shit. Like he read a story in front of God and everybody about a dude having sex and upon orgasm kills the person he's having sex with, just in front of everybody.
I mean, and by supernatural means, he didn't do it on purpose.
Sure. Yeah, but like, and then he pissed off people because of it, and I was like, hell yeah, I need that's dope. And when creative pursuits keep falling through, I noticed that Wells was like super consistent and super, like he said, goal oriented. And I was like, maybe that's what I'm missing is some sort of like rock to really kind of like, light a fire and keep on course. And thankfully, I think the bromance has really worked out because of that. Like he reminds me to actually, give a shit, and I remind him to smile every now and again. And we like it's been working out beautifully, and I wouldn't trade this relationship for anything else. And if you're listening, honey, I mean you too.
Hey, there you go, baby. Yeah. Don't forget the one that helped put it together.
I mean, yeah, she's fine, but she doesn't make comic books with it.
The secret is that like I like Alexis more than Dalton. Don't tell anyone
that. I mean, everybody does. Everybody does.
Listen, bro, I was married for a very long time, and I felt the same way. Like, yeah, here really because she's cool, not for me. Get out of here, you bums.
Yeah, I'm always at the bottom of everybody's most favorite list, but I stay on that list.
But it's on the list
because I make them laugh. And
at least you're consistent.
I'm consistent. Yeah. I still get invited to parties.
Unlike apparently. Yo, don't you worry, because everybody's gonna love you. Because again, like I said, this book was trending on Twitter today. The day of this recording. Here I am prepping, and I'm like, Frankenstein the Unconquered. Stop lying. And I click and I see nothing but you guys' faces all over this. And I'm like, whoa, I'm with the coolest guys on Twitter today. And so you guys understand why. Check this awesome trailer out, because we're about to talk things Frankenstein. Yo, check it out, folks.
Lies are as abundant as sand in this arid wasteland. Lies and secrets long buried. The eternal dunes coerce and manipulate all who step into this land. They offer a warm bed, a long-awaited drink.
That art, man.
Race. But the sky burns. The air dances before the eyes, and when the sweat can no longer drip, the hideous truth begins to whisper. And once that truth is seen in the harsh light of the desert lands, there can be no more hiding from it. Exposed, there are only two options: to internalize that truth and leave the sand stronger than before, or to wilt under the weight of it and let the sands consume you. The desert is nothing but the eternal lies of its savage sands. There are those who carry truth with them on their wretched backs. And the beast has come to share his own.
Hey! Holy
There we go.
smokes. What a trailer. And then we get an eye full of butt before we even end the trailer. Like, what? The bride is stacked. My God. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you,
Talk
Flops.
to us. Who is Frankenstein the Unconquered?
He's the same Frankenstein as from Mary Shelley's novel. He is
Okay.
So the idea is that at the end of Shelley's novel, he goes out into the Arctic and dives into the water and freezes. But
So he does his best Captain America impression. Apparently.
basically, yeah. But
Essentially,
then like Captain America doesn't quite kill him. He 500 years pass, the ice caps melt, and there's a bombed out post-apocalyptic wasteland waiting for him that is broken and hideous and mutated and looks a lot more like he does. Frankenstein, the monster, tries to kind of pick up and live the sort of peaceful life he's always wanted, but that doesn't work out. It's not quite in his nature, and he winds up choosing violence. And that's where we pick up is choosing violence over and over again and getting revenge on those who he thinks have wronged him.
But it's not through his choice that he's violent. I think it's just violent circumstances, because I had the pleasure of reading this volume, and I'm like, whoa, you guys are out there, son. And this is such a great book. It was fun. It was captivating. The words action and horror together. Because again, horror comedy. Everybody wants to do a effing horror comedy. But what you guys have done here,
I think there's definitely like there's horror comedy is valid. I think horror and comedy have a lot in common, and I love horror comedy. But yeah, this is if there is an element of comedy in Frankenstein, it's in being so over the top and so extreme that it sort of becomes self-parody. That's the way.
Bro, I mean, we saw it in the trailer, the scene with the wolf head. I mean, what did that poor wolf do to him? My God. And then again, like I said, don't aim a gun at this motherfucker. You do not want to aim a gun at him. Just trust me on this shit. I mean, it is brutal. It is fun. And again, 500 years into the future. I mean, and then look at this beautiful art, folks. Oh my God.
Mary is a godsend.
Oh my God. Her art style is so ridiculously good.
So talk about that bro sister role. How did that even happen? How did you get such an amazing artist on board to do this awesome book?
We got very lucky. We had actually worked with her on a previous project, and we sort of found her on Instagram. Yeah, we Descent into Dread
on Instagram
anthology. Yeah.
Wait a minute. Wait. You're one of the first ones that say Instagram, because everybody says Deviant Art, or I posted in some art forum. You telling me you found this person, this extremely talented person on Instagram, and how the hell did you even approach them, and they didn't even believe you when they said,
well, at the time, we really didn't know anything about anything when it came to comics. It was really our trial by fire trying to make this book happen. Not this book, the Descent into Dread horror anthology. Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. We got to do something here really quickly. Yeah. Show me.
This is that's story from the book.
Yeah. And it's black and white, bro. I need this in my life right now.
You can get it through the Kickstarter.
But Frankenstein is also involved in the anthology.
So that was the first.
Is that his first appearance?
Yeah.
Oh, folks, for you speculators out there, So what's the name of the book again? If they want
Descent
the first
into
appearance,
Dread.
Descent into Dread.
You can get it as an
Ooh.
add-on
Mhm.
in the Kickstarter.
Is that a first print, or are you giving me a second print on that?
I think the first. I mean, I believe they're print on.
It's either the first or the second print. But
Yeah.
they're printed on demand.
Now this, you're talking first appearances.
that is the
very first
do it
appearance of
yourself.
Frank.
Yeah.
What? We saw it again?
Yeah, these
So
are.
that
the-
was these started out
cool.
as like
When-
very
we started. We did our own ash cans.
do it yourself ash cans.
So
Oh my God!
Yeah, I drew all of this, as you can tell.
Yep. And we
But-
as a stretch goal, we might include that in like ship that out either digitally or physically, depending on how successful.
Yes, you should, bro. Yes,
But,
you should. Ash can. He said ash can. That is so 90s. My
Oh,
God.
yeah. No, that was sort of how we stumbled upon like getting our comics career started. Is I went to Dragon Con, which is the best place on earth, and I saw that there were all these like wonderful paintings and comic books, and I thought to myself, if I could spend $2 on every like artist's thing just to get something, just to get a little like nothing 8-page story, I totally would, just to support everybody. And I sort of approached Dalton with that. We thought it was a good idea. We didn't even realize we were just stumbling onto zine culture and reinventing that in Little Rock. But we did that for a couple of years, and we built up an audience and got Descent into Dread made. And we were just sort of belligerently, like, if we liked someone's art, we would message them on Instagram, on Twitter. I think I messaged Jim Bartell and was like, "Hey, do you want to do this? Here's the page rate." And she just like, didn't get a response back. And now that I know who people are, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty obvious that she wouldn't respond to me. Sure. But no, she was very, Mario was really cordial and super excited to be involved in the project. And has blown up in popularity since, and for good reason. Like, holy crap, look at her.
I mean,
art.
The art in this book is absolutely
Stunning.
Wonderful and amazing. I mean, and when you get into those bloody parts, my God, yo, you guys definitely get into that. Yeah, many things have been exploding, especially with this first issue. I mean, the second issue, chapter 2, apparently his appearance is the result of an explosion, if you will. Like, yo, so many things are going on in this wonderful, wonderful book. So is how many like issues you have planned out for this? Is this like an ongoing, or you're going one by one? What's
we have, so we have between, I think, 12 and 13 issues kind of planned out right now, with 5 or 6 issues in the first arc.
Really?
So yeah, no, we have a plan for it, and we have an idea of it, like if we want to keep doing it after that. We have an idea of where we want to take it, but we know that the story we want to tell is around the like 2 arcs, about 12 or 13 issues.
Oh wow, check that out. So talk about this Kickstarter, man, because again, let me start bringing this baby up, because things is going on. Things are going on, folks. Where are you? At the stream. There you go. Do it sideways so people could appreciate this whole screen. So look at this. So with 29 days to go, they're already at over half the goal, at 2670 of 5,000, 125 backers.
I just redid the page. We're almost at 3K now.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me do a quick refresh.
I was gonna say, I looked at that and I was like, "Did someone drop a pledge?
Yeah.
What is up?"
Whoa!
Just in the time we've
this.
been on the show.
Oh yeah.
This is beautiful. So you're almost at 3 racks with a 5,000 goal, 131 backers. So apparently the last couple have been made it rain on you guys, as they should.
Yeah,
right?
The averages have been pretty high actually for this particular.
I want to know something though. I need to know why Frankenstein of all the characters. What was it that appealed to you guys to build upon Mary Shelley's classic story?
I mean, I think it was a lot of things happening simultaneously. We both, but Dalton in particular, but both of us have a love for like those old Universal horror movie monsters, and even the stuff after that, even like your Young Frankensteins, your Hammer films, things like that. Just that crop of like Dracula, Frankenstein, Phantom, Mummy, Wolfman, like that whole crop of monsters is just so fun and interesting. It also helps that the majority of them are public domain, so we can use them without getting the pantsuit off of us. But it's also like Frankenstein in particular. Dalton has a wonderful way of explaining this. Like Frankenstein is of those universal horror monsters, like the Batman of it, in that you can stick him in any context, anywhere, whether it's steampunk or futuristic or in space or whatever, and it still feels distinctly like Frankenstein. Whereas if you did it with like
Dracula or
the Mummy, it would kind of take away from that character, where Frankenstein always feels like Frankenstein. And then I just like, I love the novel. Horror in general is absolutely my jam, but the novel has so many like latent themes that are really like rich for exploring, that in my opinion don't really get a fair rep on top of like the obvious stuff, you know, the sort of scientific exploration that everyone talks about, playing God, that sort of whole topic of conversation that sums up.
I will say this though, Dr. Frankenstein seems to have a one-up on God, because, you know, we have a very much shorter lifespan than this motherfucker has.
Yeah, no. Frankenstein is aged flawlessly in this book. I don't know what the rules for Frankenstein aging are. Honestly,
I don't think we have them.
I think because he's already dead, or because he's dead and brought back to life, he doesn't really decompose anymore. Is sort of what we've settled on. But no, just like there's so many interesting ideas about like masculine expectation and what what sort of this achieve anything by any means sort of mentality leads to, both in Victor and in the Beast, and the violent tendencies of the Beast kind of get not underexplored in the novel by any means, but don't get discussed as much. So there was a lot of like fertile ground for storytelling there that we saw. And then just the image of, you know, Frankenstein with a sword in a post-apocalypse being all Conan the Barbarian, Mad Max, Fury Road. It just like, that was too cool not to look at as a possibility.
Yeah, I'm so surprised that nobody else has done Frankenstein via Conan before. It's right there. But no, I think I had thought of using Frank in more of like a cosmic setting, like Cosmic Frankenstein, kind of zooming around with a sword and a ray gun in space and stuff. But then we were like, you know, something about that sword, and then like the long hair, and it all just kind of congealed into the barbarian fiction angle. And, you know, we still have ray guns and stuff all throughout it because it's a 500 years in a bombed out future. So anything can happen. There are no rules. I don't know. Frank is just so appealing.
You just blew my mind there, because imagine this is the first take of humans to aliens. It is, you know, a space-faring Frankenstein with a sword and laser gun. Like, they would never come to Earth.
You know, we do mention in the opening crawl that he murdered the stars. So there's a very good option that there's a very good possibility that there is nobody left to come to Earth.
That is open to interpretation for sure.
Hey, bro, if Frank was out there and he has this appetite for destruction, if you will, I could believe that, you know, this is why we no longer have stars in the skies, or they keep going out every night. You know,
Frank
there was a star there last night. Oh man, I can't wait. So, you know, again, the project is killing it. Look at this team. Look at these covers. Look at this cover. Holy shit.
No, it is. We included a collector's tier where you get all three covers, just because, like, well, how do you choose, honestly?
You can't.
The first one is great. Kaylin Smith's cover, absolutely fantastic. Lots of, like, great subtle storytelling in that cover.
I love how, like, distinctly not Frankenstein it is while still being Frankenstein. Like, it's almost Archie. But
the art style is very, like, you know, webcomic almost. Yeah. Like, if Frankenstein was a webcomic, but it works.
Yo, Wells, it kind of looks like your hairstyle. Did they you get reference from you? Oh.
I'm sure she did. We met in person at what was it? Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City.
Hey,
And,
somebody met one of the other creators finally. Yay!
Oh yeah,
Look at that. I can't believe it.
No, she's just such a bright person to be around, and her attitude, her work ethic is absolutely infectious. So like within 5 seconds of meeting her, I was like, I want to work with you. I want you to make a cover.
I will say, just looking at this cover, very zombie Conan on this mother. Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's definitely got that great.
Hey, wait a minute! And what's popping off here? We got the bride sewing off some peaches. ¿Qué pasa?
Yeah, no, we wanted to, Kickstarter leans toward a very specific kind of demographic, and eventually you have to read the writing on the wall and say, give the people what they want. This is what the people wanted for sure. Flops.
So let me. I need to ask something. Since this is the Bride of Frankenstein, and she's made up of other people parts, so where does her butt come from?
It's a mystery. We'll never know.
It's She-Hulk.
When that twerking episode, they let me slice that bum. Now that you don't need it no more. And look at it. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna say there's a UK artist named Flops who did that cover for us. He really he does like very pinup styles, and apparently people have been asking him to do nude stuff for a while, and so he was like, "Fine, I'll do it. Fine, whatever. This will be the first one."
If you want to, talk about some dead.
This is what the people want.
You want to?
Who are we to?
People want dead ass. And let's talk about these wonderful tiers too, folks, because again, as we're talking here, it reached 3 racks. Let's get it over 3 racks. Let's get it to 4 fully funded right now. So look, folks, look how simple it is to participate. $10 to pledge without a reward.
That's just standard.
You love comics. Yeah,
that's just like they always throw that up like back it because you believe in it. $10. I don't know why, but digital copy $5
because some people don't want. You know what it is? Some people are not allowed to build upon their collection.
True, but that's why
other may notice something new on the shelf. Exactly. Like you don't know how much space is left on my hard drive. You better stop it. So for $5, you could take some space on your hard drive. Right there, get Frank #2. Digital only, high quality PDF. For $7, you could do the catch up and get issue 1 and 2, both digital, folks. All right, $7 is a even better deal than what most things in comicsology are. Let me tell you.
Yep.
Now,
and the limited number of those, and for a limited time, we're doing the early bird specials, 20% off. So get it quick, get it in, get it fast.
And look, this is the one for us print fans that like to smell the ink. $8. You hear me? And you don't just get a physical. So that way you don't have to open up that bad boy, and you have your choice of cover A or B. You could get that bad boy, keep it in this plastic, and put it away in your archives, and then you could read the digital copy for $8. Who does that?
I'd love for you to read the physical book though too.
Oh no, yeah. Open it up, smell it.
Comics are made to be held and read.
And smelled.
Yes.
That ink is a drug. So I don't know if I was to do a comic, I want the ink to smell like cannabis a little bit because I want to get you. I might give you the first edition for free because of the smell. You know what I mean? Hey.
I'm here for it.
So look, $12 over here. You get a physical catch up. Look, wow, for $12 you get issues 1 and 2 fizzy. Then you get 1 and 2 digi. All right. All the Frankenstein and go around. All right. And again, all these folks will be available next year, 2023. All right. Just so you know. Again, and then you have the 2 tiers. You got the discounted tier, then you got the regular tier. Jump on that discount while it's available, folks. That early bird is limited.
Yep. We're coming up on 24 hours. It expires at 72. So you got 2 more days to get up on it.
Hurry up, folks. Hurry up. You heard? This is a trending book. on the socials, son.
It
Was
is.
I mean, it's popping. It's popping. And look, and then for $20, you get the variant, the not safe for work variant. You get that booty cover, baby, as you can see right there. All right, look at that booty cover.
Heather Vaughn, our cover artist, has been calling it the official Frankenbutt cover.
The Frankenbutt. Let me tell you, I'm starting to think she may be Latina because of the shape of it. I don't know. It's just, yeah. You can call me Astrodamus. I'm Astrodamus, apparently, right? That was a Latina name. So again, look, you got the early bird special for $24. You got the not safe for work cover.
So the $24 is the collector's tier. So that's all 3 comics for $24.
And it's an early bird special, folks. $24. It's 2 digi. You get the physical, you get the variant, and you got the not safe for work. The one that you're gonna need to hide from your kids. All right.
Unless you're just a really cool parent.
Hey, right? Look, kiddo, look at these Nargas. I don't know about that. But for $24, that's with a discount again. Otherwise, you're gonna pay $30, folks. So jump on that early bird while it's still available. 72 hours of early bird. You hear me?
You know it.
Then we got this joint right here, 40. Oh, you did. Oh my God! No, you guys did not do a 90s foil cover.
Oh, you know we did.
We do it for every comic.
Yep.
These guys are after my heart. Oh yeah, yo, let me tell you.
Oh yeah, go get that foil, Wells.
He's gonna get the foil. It's outside the house. What is going on here? Oh snap! Hold on, I'm gonna have to put that on the big boy over here. Let me see that. Oh wow!
Oh yeah.
Woo! That is
and super glossy pages.
Man. Oh my God!
Oh,
I almost could see your reflection. You know? Almost saw myself. That is gorgeous. Whoa! You
Absolutely
hear that?
Beautiful.
Look, folks, for $50. All right, check that out. 2 copies of the Unconquered, a normal copy, whether A and B, it's your choice. Again, then a copy of that foil cover, cover A only. All right, and for $50, you can't go wrong. Holy smokes! Then for $100. Holy shit! You can
get that foil cover for $40 in the first 72 hours.
20% off 72 hours, etc. Et
Look, folks, $40. They ain't lying. We ain't lying to you. You better jump on this shit like white on rice, because otherwise you're gonna have to jump on this $100 bad boy where you getting everything.
Every damn thing. Every
What the hell is Deathstalks the Damned?
So Deathstalks the Damned is a tabletop RPG. It's a one-shot game that you can play with your friends that takes place in the Frankenstein the Unconquered universe.
You're scaring me though. Wait a minute. Before you continue, you said it's a one-shot game. Are you telling me I may have to murder my teammate?
Depends how your Dungeons and Dragons campaigns normally go.
Oh.
Actually, it's not far. There is a possibility that you murder a teammate. Yeah, but no, it's basically you and a group of people go off to scavenge. You come back and your village is destroyed, and the word on the street is that Frankenstein did it. So you gotta find help for your teammates, and you gotta hunt them down. And there's twists and turns along the way. There's hard decisions to be made. It's a lot of fun. Our friend Jacob Fleming made it for us. He's big on tabletop Kickstarter. Recently did a $40,000 campaign for one of his games. So yeah, no, he's the real deal for sure.
Whoa, 40 racks? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no.
And look at this, folks. Look at this, folks. For you guys that have shops, I think this is great for retailers and all. A back page comic ad, and on top of that, you're getting the books. So not only an ad for $1.25 of this very popular, trending book. You hear me? Do you see the ad possibility here, guys? Stop. Don't play yourselves.
For a trending project on Twitter, you gotta
you know what I'm saying? You got to. This is the bargain, all right? So check it out. $1.25, you get that ad, you get digital and physical copies, you get a variant, you get the not safe for work, including that wonderful ad. And then they even go crazier for $250. You get a commission and that iridescent cover. I mean, Mary Langell herself. Like, do we have a choice of the commission, or is it a free?
Yeah, no. You work with her to say, I want this this character. It is nice. Black and white, single character, but she does some. Honestly, I don't. A lot of times, I see her black and white work, and I'm like, do we want to color this? Can we do just sort of black and white, heavy metal sort of
I'm telling you, Frankenstein the Unconquered. We need it.
Yeah, there you go. You could do a whole art book, Frankenstein the Uncolored.
Oh,
and
for sure.
I think you guys need to do that. Now you guys need to do that. You are manifesting. All right. And now what the heck do you mean by adopt a page for $275?
Yeah, so we wanted to, give people the option to sort of own a piece of the book. Obviously, everything is done digitally, so we don't have like the physical boards to send people. But we thought it would be a good idea to, like, for the price of a page, you can adopt it. We put it in the book that says, "Hey, this page was adopted by Almega," so everyone knows about it. And we send you a one-of-a-kind print of the page, 11 by 17, so you can hang it in your home. Say, like, this is mine. I bought this. Plus, we give you.
Adopt the highway. Adopt the comic page, folks.
That's what I'm saying.
We're gonna get Sarah McLachlan on to actually do one of those really sad commercials to get you to adopt a page. Just look at all these pages.
Oh man, why not Sally Struthers? Yeah, you guys are murdering me. I would love to see a commercial one day. This is why you need to fund this project. You need to feed these starving writers and artists. I think they're all like hungry.
Is that our next?
I was gonna say,
trailer, right?
I think you just gave us the idea for our next trailer. In the arms of
that'll be great for Mechaton.
Yo, I need to see this going on. You have things that are no longer available. Look at this. What a tease. I gotta ask. This is the one thing I didn't see here, and I would like to know why. Why is there no retailer level? Don't you want to see this in the shops?
I would love to theoretically see it in the shop.
Don't think we were that presumptuous yet.
And if some shops want to jump on, certainly I'd be happy to provide a deal for them. That said, really? What we learned from Mechaton is that if at some point you want to get a publisher on board, they really don't like you selling to shops because they want to sell to the shops. So we haven't made a deal with Frankenstein yet. That is still on the table, but we wanted to keep that open just in case halfway through, we wind up finding a home for it at a publisher. We have also entertained the thought of just keeping it on Kickstarter forever. So who knows? Maybe we will.
This will be at a publisher under the 4-Color Media, sub brand right there. So X and X presents 4-Color. So talk about that too. What is 4-Color? When did that even get birthed?
That got birthed right here.
Yeah, no, that's us essentially. Yeah. Okay. That's
it's a brain trust between the two of us. Making. I mean, that was what we put the stamp on it. It's like, this is what, when Wells and I work together, that's the stamp, is 4-Color.
That's the name of that exclusive club that is, this writers club. Yeah, 4-Color Media.
So we even had our own website for a while. Every book came with a 4-Color comics stamp on it, like the comics code.
Nice.
It was that was really how we got off the ground. We had a logo and everything, and it served its purpose. Now it's mostly just a stamp to let you know that we're working together on it. But but 4-Color's great. I've had a great time.
Oh yeah, no, it's still like it's just that sort of signification of like this is a Dalton Shannon / Wells Thompson production.
Yeah, it's not really an actually like publishing house, but
yet.
It's because that's exactly the words to use is yet, because I think that you guys are onto something very special. This Frankenstein the Unconquered. I mean, I could understand why it was trending on the social medias today. This is a fire book. You guys write so poetically.
Oh,
Honestly,
Thank you.
oh,
I'm reading this, and I was like eating it
Flattering
up.
me.
I'm like, yo, this is fire. The words. I mean, homie don't
Mhm.
really talk, so you kind of you are that narrator telling us the
Mhm.
story. Wonderful effing job. I mean, what you guys do, what your artist does, your colorist, letterers, everything. I'm like, this is such a well put together book.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Our team makes us look good.
Oh, for sure. No, I mean I have to give full credit
Yeah.
to Mary and Dahlia and Nathan and
Yeah.
and especially and Heather Vaughn
Yeah.
and Brenda Snelby, who just absolutely murdered
Yeah.
the look of the book. It's such a beautiful thing to look at.
Yeah, that poetry you mentioned wouldn't be any good if Nathan didn't make it look fantastic on the page.
No kidding.
oh, but wait a minute. The book is not just a regular old comic book, because you put some prose behind that.
Yeah.
After the
That was
Yeah.
That was a stretch goal for the last book. Was a prose short story in the back.
Yes.
To give you just a little extra taste of Frankenstein. And
now
I
we're
was
stuck in-
smelling the environment. It didn't smell too great, but let me tell you,
Yeah.
those words really knew how to make me feel and smell that environment.
Well,
You
thank
guys
you.
are masters of your craft.
well,
Let me
thank
tell
you.
you.
Oh,
Appreciate
that's so sweet. Thank you so much.
Well, you said it yourselves that when you guys were in school, you guys were basically a step above everybody else. I could definitely
words,
agree
not
to
mine.
that. It's a test. but Wells is right though. I mean, reading what you guys have done with this, I have read, current comics with certain writers. I'm not gonna throw no one under the bus, but I'm like, shit, when are these guys gonna hire you? Because like you guys are
I'd like
beasts,
to know
yo.
that too.
Flowers time, like I like to call this. Just want to say thank you as a comic book fan. Thank you so much for
thank
putting
you.
yourself
thank
out
you,
there,
thank you for
sharing your
yeah.
story, because it's been amazing. I dug the hell out of the book. This is a book that I want to reread again. It has that feel to it. Because you're like, yeah, I think I missed something that was going on in the artwork or in the story. I mean, it's just hella fun, hella crazy. Like I was telling you before, it's like some space spaghetti western mashup with horror all over. It's just holy fuck type, for real. It was just fun. This brings me back to what comic books should be. It's just, that fantasy, that fun, that comic book violence. Again,
Mhm.
you saw the picture with the wolf head. I mean, poor wolf, but damn, bro.
Oh, just wait until issue
Look.
2. The Wolfman's in for a time.
Oh boy.
Oh, really? Oh man, he ain't no match for Frankie. Not this Frankie. This
Poor
Frankie.
Larry.
Yeah, poor
This
Larry.
Frankie. So, before we go, just two more things,
Sure,
and
let's do it.
the first thing is, will we see you guys at any comic book conventions, for the remainder of this year?
This weekend.
And where is
actually.
that? Oh, where?
Yeah.
Oh, where you
Yeah.
guys going? Talk.
I will be in Milwaukee for MightyCon Milwaukee. It'll be a
Awesome.
one-day event this Saturday. So if anybody's in the Wisconsin area, come on down. I'll have copies of Frankenstein #1 for you.
Woo! You're gonna want that.
You're going to want that. Yeah. And I'll also have copies of Descent into Dread if you like those first appearances too. So yeah, come on out and say hi and support the Kickstarter. I don't think I've got any more
Absolutely.
conventions besides that one, but Wells.
I will be in Clarksville, Tennessee on October 22nd, I believe.
Okay.
Give me 1 second to look at the
He has to look
Yeah,
at his
that'll
very
be set.
busy calendar.
Saturday, October 22nd. I'll also be in Bowling Green, Kentucky on October 8th for one-day shows at both of those venues. We might try and do something in November, December. It just depends on what's available and if we have the time and energy to do it. But we're already starting to look at conventions for next year as well that we want to do. We're really finding a lot of success at like small to medium shows, really. So as much as we love meeting fans at the really, really large ones, they do be expensive. So we're kind of seeing what's reasonable for us right now. But yeah,
you guys need to do a GoFundMe to get you to one of the bigger cons, because people need to see you guys, need to see this energy in person, they need to see this book and smell the ink in person.
Absolutely.
That's what
I can tell you 100% we will be at St. Louis Fan Expo next year. We've already paid for the booth, so we're definitely going there. And then Arkansas Comic Con, we are 100% going back to next year. No way we're missing that. That was our best show ever.
You got to start hitting the East Coast and the West Coast shows. You guys,
I don't know if we're going to be able to make it out to the West Coast, but we will make it out to the East Coast eventually, hopefully next year. Fingers crossed.
You guys start flying us out, we'll go.
That is really the problem, is the flights.
Yeah.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. Hopefully one day Comic Crusade could do that shit and I would host you myself, because this is so awesome. I believe in the project. So last thing here is pieces of advice to any up and coming creators that have been in your shoes, prior. So Dalton, I'll let you. Don't do it. Don't compete with me.
I got enough competition. Don't do it. No, it's enough. No, it is enough of a heartbreaker. Don't do it. But don't do it. No, you should absolutely jump headfirst in. Just be prepared to have something that you love turned into a job. Like it's something I wasn't expecting. Was like I just thought I would just get to write and make comics all day and this would be fun. But there's a lot of like back end stuff. There's a lot of kind of navigating spheres that you're not used to. You got to learn new skill sets. Like you don't know how to letter, learn how to letter, do some marketing, like figure out how to design. Like there's a lot of just pure job in this environment that you need to be prepared to handle. And as long as you have like an open mind in regards to that, that's to meet that end goal of making the comics that you want to make, then I think you're going to do great. It's the mindset of I don't want to learn how to market on the internet that is going to make you miserable.
For sure.
Which is I'm still having to learn how to do that.
Oh yeah. And for me it's especially when it comes to like writing comics and specifically writing and not drawing comics, I would say biggest piece of advice is treat it like a business. Like go in with the mindset of like, I am starting a small business. I'm not expecting to break even for 3 to 5 years. I need to build up a product, an audience, a base, and literally learning how to do that will save you a lot of grief down the road, and also save you some money in terms of like if you're treating it like a business and actually like presenting it as a small business, suddenly you have tax breaks, suddenly you have things that will help ease you in and get you more prepared for it. But if you treat it like an elevated hobby, you're going to get really burnt out really quickly. You kind of have to approach it as, I'm spending a lot of money here, but it's going towards something, and eventually I will get paid that money back.
Pay your artists and take care of your team.
Oh yeah, pay your artists, pay them well, pay them on time. That is the other biggest piece of advice that I have.
You heard, if you want the book to happen, pay your team. There you go. Very simple. I love it. Guys, I appreciate you guys' time and energy today.
Thank you.
It's been great. I want everybody, again, check out this Kickstarter project right here, Frankenstein the Unconquered. All right? Chapter 2. For you who get 1 and 2 and a whole bunch. So make it rain and support amazing independent creators, because these guys are the future. And please follow them at social. You can follow Dalton K. Shannon everywhere, apparently, at that handle. And then Wells Tomp, and that's THOMP on Twitter. And you said there's other spots with different name.
So wellsthompson.com will get you, is sort of a hub for everything that I do. And then if you go to ko-fi.com and look up my name, Wells Thompson, you can find me there. I have a shop where you can buy all the books, and you can buy me a cup of coffee if you so choose. You can always use a cup of coffee.
You're gonna drink it like me though. If I buy you a cup of coffee, you're drinking it like me, which is black, no sugar.
I'll do that. Sure, why not? Yeah.
He'll be wild all night, but he'll do it.
Oh yeah, no. I'm really nowhere else important. I mean, I have a very small presence on Instagram, but I barely update it, so not really worth talking about. Mostly, you'll find me on Twitter. And the other place that is important to find us, I would say, is our newsletter. Easy to find. Just go to Twitter, and you will see a sign up for it. In my bio. That is Comics, Cats, and Cocktails, where we talk about comic books, foster cats, cocktail recipes, We shout out other people's projects and Kickstarters and stuff like that. We talk about books that we're reading. Give you some exclusive sneak peeks and pages and behind the scenes stuff as well for what
you want to see some Frankenstein the Uncolored. That's where you see it. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, you tease, yo! I'm gonna need to I need to get one of those uncolored pages. Let me tell you, because that art is
adopt a page.
It's pretty fire. It is
adopt a page. There you go, folks. Don't adopt a highway. Who needs a clean highway? Adopt this page, all right? You know what to do. And with that, I am Al Mega once again. I'm sure one last time. Follow Wells at Wells Tomp. That's THOMP on the Twitterverse. Dalton K Shannon. Everything's underneath, folks. All right, so you can just click away, make your life easier. But most importantly is I need you guys to support this. Let's get this to 5,000 by tonight. So that way we can start unlocking everything. And they're going to be forced to give us more extras. They're going to be forced to give us even crazier extras. Even see one of them, cosplay as Frankenstein the Unconquered. And one of these guys is going to be cosplaying as the bride. I don't know which who. All depends who has the better bottom, apparently.
Both of us are going to have to start doing crunches, I swear.
Squats, bro, squats. All right. With that, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. The outro tells you everything you guys got to do. All right. So I'm not going to be repetitious. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. Much love. Wepa! Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.